Welcome in, watchers and listeners, to Sport Talk with Dwat. I'm Dwat, and I got Casper on the show. If you would please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
All right. Welcome into Sport Talk with Diva, episode number 34. I got him back on the show. He's back. What is going on, Casper?
I don't know. Not a whole lot. Just sitting here kicking it best I can. What about you?
Oh, yeah, it's been a busy day at work and getting home and get some things around here. Figured I got my heat back to being working. So it is back in action and it is working well again. So it was a little chilly this last couple of days. So all that is finally done.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I know that's always a lot of fun to get that nonsense done. So glad to hear it, man.
Oh yeah, so it's glad to be back on the show here, and we're going to get things underway with news of the week. Justin Verlander is heading back to the Tigers' 13 million one-year deal. Casper, is he getting old? You think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him do good. I always liked him when he was with the Tigers the first time. Then he messed around, and I wasn't the biggest fan, down there with the cheaters. But I mean, I thought it was kind of cool to see him go back. I like the idea of guys going back. I'd also like to see LeBron go back for 1 year to Cleveland. So, I kind of always like to going back to where you started and paying your respects. And I don't know, he might could put together a couple good games for him too. Like that's the thing with him. I don't know that he's going to have it every night out, but he might have a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be pretty good. He's getting a little bit old. He's a 42, but he's
Yeah, he ain't
been
got
around a
that
while.
heat.
He's got the heat. The dude can throw. He can throw the heat for sure. So I'd be curious. When I saw that, I was like, that's pretty good news. I like to hear that out of him. So that
Yeah,
was
I agree.
that. Let's go into some Alabama basketball. Charles Badicchio out after 5 games. He's was there. He's back. So Casper, what happened with all that?
So basically, we got a real judge in there that doesn't donate to the University of Alabama and was like, "No, bro, you were pro. You left. You're done. Nada." Thankfully, that just for the record, I'm very excited. That's how that went, and it's not an Alabama hate thing. That's just like a save the NCAA kind of thing. Like we talked about on here at one point, or maybe we talked about the show, but like if this would have gone through, who else would have come back? Tim Tebow, Cam Newton. Like you could have really tried some wild stuff. So I was glad they got this shut down. Now, the other part to this news is that the first judge's ruling says that by him playing, it couldn't affect Alabama or him negatively, meaning that they should be allowed to play in the NCAA tournament, the SEC tournament, and all this stuff. I think that needs to be overruled. I don't understand how you can play an ineligible player for 5 games via a temporary restraining order, whatever they used, and then still be eligible. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And then I think they're setting themselves up if they let them in. Whoever's on the bubble, I would be suing the NCAA saying that, hey, no, I mean, they played with ineligible players. They're not eligible for this tournament. Give me my spot, right? If I'm the first one out, like that's what I would do. Um, Depending who that team is, I don't know exactly where that'll be right now. We're not really deep enough into the season exactly to really start narrowing down who those last 4 in, first 4 out are. But if you're one of those teams, sometimes you get paid based off getting in. Basically, your conference gets money and you get your TV time, and it's a big deal. So, I'd like to see Alabama just kind of self police this and say, hey, we're just going to sit out. I would like to see them sit out the SEC tournament as well. Um, I know that's bold coming from a Tennessee fan who also has a quarterback that just filed a temporary restraining order, but I got the hat back here and the license plate on the wall, but I'd like to go ahead and say I don't support Joey doing this nonsense either to get a temporary restraining order to practice. Like, I don't want him on the field because I like he doesn't have eligibility. Let's quit acting like he does. So until the judge says he has eligibility, get off the football field. That's my take on that. Um, and I just want to be clear because I am knocking on Alabama. This is not an Alabama thing. This is a let's save college sports thing for me. So that's my opinion. Sorry if I went too long.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all been going on a lot here last little bit with some of these news of whether it's football or basketball now. It's these people are these players are just trying to stretch for all they can. It seems like, and if this Charles guy shouldn't have been out there playing, and now he was playing, and then it's just to be a big mess. And if they get to the March Madness there, and then they get in, and then they're playing with somebody that shouldn't have been playing for
Yep.
5 games, so it's a big mess. But I'm glad they got some kind of finally got some Pep got something came out of that finally. So Pep got the news we wanted to hear, I guess, and so hopefully all that can be done and put to bed.
One more thing on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
They only won 2 games out of 5. Just point that out.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
didn't really help them any.
No.
So probably hurt them maybe because they were
Yeah.
a pretty good team and they lost to Tennessee, lost some teams. So
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't any gain there. I wouldn't think.
No.
All right, let's move on to some more basketball talk. NBA fights, Casper. What the heck is going on? We got these. They all start with hard fouls, or a foul, I guess you could call it. I call it a hard foul. And then these are grown men just getting after it, chasing each other around the court. Guys on the bench aren't even playing in the game, aren't even dressed out, or rushing the court. And you can't really control this as like a referee or the police. Or it doesn't seem like it's like a hockey fight almost. Until something they either
Nailed it.
fall to the ground, then you can separate it. But it's not a good look. And I've been trying to watch more NBA over this past year, and then you get that kind of news. It's just not a good look.
I mean, I think it's a great look because it gets people paying attention to the NBA. I mean, that's what they need. To me, this is a hockey ripoff. Like, hey, let's just fight. Maybe somebody will pay attention to our crappy sport. So, yeah, I don't know. I was talking. I've been at work. I've been riding with this guy that's been riding with me the last few days, and he's like a big Celtics fan. And he's like, dude, he's like, what has gotten into basketball? Because like he was driving the truck, and I was riding over there, and I was like, man, what the heck is going on with all these fights? He's like, I don't know. I've got no idea. But I think what happened is they had a little meeting. They said, let's be like the NHL and see if we can't get some people to watch this crap show.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to work. I mean, people like the clips and the videos and the hype about it. And I feel like it's something that's been going on, and it's probably just going to keep happening. But they have put their foot down a little bit. I could guess you could maybe say
Yeah.
with these guys being out for 7 games, you got 4 games, so we got all these players that are causing this mess are finally getting what they deserve, I guess you could call it, and get these guys out for a couple games. Are they going to learn their lesson? Probably not. They probably just think it's kind of funny, and they'll now the money wise that some guys are getting some big losses on the money, so maybe that would slow it down a little bit.
I feel like, 7 game suspension is a pretty big deal. And anybody that throws punches, like that probably should be the minimum. You can't be doing that, man. And that one thing about basketball in particular, too, you got so many people sitting close to the floor. You got fans, I know it's a lot of celebrities, but even there's just fans just close, man. You can't be fighting with the fans. Football, you got a little bit more room around the field. NHL, you got a glass wall, but like basketball, I mean, you're right there. You know what I mean? And I feel like, having fights in that is definitely dangerous. You definitely do not want to get a fan in the middle of a fight, and it will happen at some point if they keep this up. I mean, because people get animated, people get into sports. Like there's been times at the racetrack where I get worried with you and JP that we're about to be in a fight with somebody sitting next to us because JP can't shut his mouth, to be fair, but. I mean, I think that's something they really have to think about, and I'm glad they're doing the big suspensions. Make them count.
Yeah, I think it'll help because, like the fans saying, kind of like you said, the fans are right there, and it's courtside, and you're gonna fight in hockey or fighting a sport that's not going to get the fans too much involved. And NBA that's what's going to happen. So I'd be curious after the All-Star break, can these people come together and foul each other without getting all worked up over it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they've been watching social media too much. Like, we don't have to fight every time there's contact in a sport. Like, let's just hit somebody and be like, "Hey, that was a good play, man. It's a good play." You know?
Yeah, let's just foul and say it's a good play and move on and not get caught
And
up.
then hit them next time whenever it's your turn to foul them, right? Like
Yeah,
that's how we used to do it, right? Like just play it like that, you
just
know?
foul them back, and that's just part of the system. And so we'll see on that, Casper, on how what all that looks ahead, and we'll see here in just a couple of weeks on how all that will look. All right, Super Bowl 60 is where we're going to move to. It was a beautiful weather out there in California there, Casper. We got the 1 Seahawks versus the 2 Patriots. That was on NBC at 6:30. 124.9 million views, the second most since the last year. So that was so that was good for last year to get the top, and then this year was second. I'll kind of go first here a little bit on some of this, Casper. The Patriots, just could not get the ball moving there in the first quarter, first half was just not going their way. And just as a fan, trying to watch this game it was a little bit hard to watch. I mean, for the Patriots wise, they just couldn't. I don't know if they just couldn't block or the
They
Seahawks
could
just had a
not
really good
block.
defense. But man, it was just Drake May was having a hard time getting the ball moving, and it just it was getting close on some things. He just couldn't quite connect. And the first half was it was brutal, and it was but same way for the Seahawks too. They just couldn't score touchdowns. They got the field goals. So they were able to kick the field goals and get some points, but they were not able to score the touchdowns early on. So it was 9-0 at halftime, Seahawks. And so then I'll just kind of leads me into the halftime situation here. I got some guys at work wanting my feedback on
Yeah, I want it too.
Bad Bunny. Is that what?
Yeah, that's his name.
That was the name. Okay. My few things that I've got to say about this halftime show is I don't know what this guy is saying during the show. So I have a hard time really getting on here and saying, "Oh, it was a great halftime show." When I speak English here in America, and I don't know what exactly he's saying. So that's tough for me to really get into. The positives of the halftime show, Casper, were I did like some of the decoration and stuff. Maybe the trees were people and they were dancing around, and he started way over here, and he ended at the other opening there. So that was pretty unique. They had all kind of people, and it was a very active halftime show. I didn't watch all of it, honestly. Come halftime of these games, I don't really get too into it. I go do something else for 20 minutes, get a little break, kind of get my mind off the game a little bit, and I'll catch up to it there towards the end. I did see the end of it. Somebody got married during it, from my understanding. It was illegal.
Ronald made an appearance. Did you catch that? We're both wearing Braves hats, and I just realized that. Ronald did make an appearance there. Did you catch? I didn't even catch it because I also wasn't paying that much attention.
Okay,
but so, he was there and on stage.
So it was unique that they had the wedding and they had a lot of people there, and that was cool. I just, as a fan, if it's a name that I care about, a singer, then I'll watch it. I might get into it, but when it's some guy like that, I just have a hard time. What is your thought on the halftime, Casper?
My thought on the halftime shows, I haven't gave a damn about the halftime show ever. Sorry, you have to give me one. But I mean, dude, like I watch a football game, then they have a concert, and that like there's too many people now that watch it for the halftime show. Like that's the sad part. I don't know if you've seen this reel going around of this guy that played the 2014 Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Seahawks at a Super Bowl party to see if anybody would notice because he didn't think any of his friends watched football and they had no idea. We're talking about Tom Brady was on the field and he had this thing playing from the DVR. So. Like, man, like I don't care. I will, I'm not trying to get too political, but I'm not going to go to another channel to watch some other halftime show. I'm not, well, I mean, I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can look at this garage background and you can pretty well know my politics. Okay. Like, come on now. But I mean, I'm still not going to change the channel for a halftime show, dude. Like it's a football game, right? But I thought it, something was cool. I couldn't understand anything he said. Same thing. Like my wife, she gets into it, so I just watch it. But like I'm scrolling on my phone, looking to see what's going on with the dirt racing and all that kind of stuff. So but I have a problem with it. I'm with you. I actually kind of liked how they did the whole like walk through the little maze thing for the shots. Like I said, I have no idea what he said, but I thought the show was pretty cool. It wasn't, to me, my all-time halftime show is still like that I've seen is the Prince, Purple Rain in the Rain, all that stuff. That was a good one, but I don't know. I don't care that much. I watch football, not halftime shows, bro.
Yeah, I'm there for the game. I'm not there for the commercials. I'm not there for the halftime show. But commercial-wise, if there's some funny ones, then I'll kind of laugh out loud with them. But that's my hope is at least give me that.
Yeah, that's true.
So after the halftime, so that all wrapped up. Fourth quarter is kind of when it gets better, Casper. This was kind of when a little bit of a game. At least some points got scored, but I think the best team was the Seahawks, and they were able to really prove to everybody that they deserve a Super Bowl champion, and that's exactly what they are. They are the champions of the NFL. So
Champions of life.
champions alive. There you go. So 29-13 was the final for the Seahawks. Yeah, they're a team that's out west there, up north out west, and they kind of get forgotten about a little bit sometimes. So to see them back is good. Their offensive coordinator is going to the Raiders. Was that? I
Yep,
believe that.
gone,
Okay, so
gone.
that's
He gone.
he gone. So there you go. So now that he's going to the Raiders. So that might help out the Raiders a little bit. Maybe they'll get the first draft pick quarterback there. Maybe they'll get the big time quarterback Fernando. And so maybe he'll go out there to the Raiders and take care of that. But it's kind of cool to see those coordinators go up to the head coaching job in the and see what he can do in the NFL. So that'll be a good challenge for him.
Yeah. I mean, overall in the game, I just kind of go back to it. Like Drake, I was talking to my dad. He listened to the game on the radio, and he was basically saying he's like they couldn't even call a play like for the radio when there was Patriots on offense because it's like, and they snapped the ball, and Drake's getting hit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Get sacked 6 times, pressured like 20, 14, 20, something stupid. Um, they were just outmanned, unfortunately. And I really like the heart in that kid to keep playing them all the way till the end, like you talk about in the fourth quarter. And he started finally. I think what happened is the Seahawks were giving up those short, quick passes just to be sure they didn't give up anything deep. And he made a little bit of ground there, like you were talking about. But unfortunately, he got the 2 touchdowns, which I bet on that. And he got 19 completions. So I also bet on that. So at least I hit 2 bets. Missed the rest of them, but I hit those. So
Okay.
we'll take
Yeah.
it. But overall, it's okay. I would like to say I still think, I think you have to put an asterisk by this one for the Seahawks because, like, I still pretty sure that if Broncos were there, I'm pretty sure the Broncos were actually probably the best team, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, but if Bo Nix would have been healthy, I think they'd have been there, and I think they would have beat the crap out of Seahawks because the Seahawks didn't play that good either. Their offense was really not that good.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Patriots defense is that good. That was the one question I had for you after the Super Bowl. Is like, do you think the Patriots defense is that good? Because if the Patriots defense is that good, they might be like one offensive lineman away from like actually being the Patriots again.
Yeah, they had a good defense in that game, and just I feel like yeah, they could have some more players, and then they could have really made a difference. And they had their chances throughout the game to kind of shut them down, but just wasn't enough. And I think it was just back to the offensive side for the Patriots. Couldn't have the time, man. I watched, and he was getting sacked, and
Yeah,
that one lineman got, he got just blown out so
yeah,
bad where he got knocked back into the quarterback.
yeah.
It's
But
just you
dude,
got
he's a rookie coming off of an injury. I mean, like that's the thing about the Patriots that people's got to understand is like they don't have necessarily all-star studs on that team other than like Diggs, I guess. But like, they have a lot of good players and they got a lot of young players. So really curious to see what happens with them, going forwards.
Yeah, I think they'll be around for the years to come. They got a good coach, they got a good quarterback. Now, if they can just find a couple little things here and there with either the lineman or the defensive side, get one more player on defense, it could be a big change for them. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. I'm kind of coming around on the page a little bit more compared to in the years past. So
Yeah.
if I could see them win 10, 12, 13, 14 games in the future, I think that'd be kind of cool to see. And maybe they can make a run at it again.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way too early pick for the
Okay.
Super Bowl next year. Give me the Chiefs to win Super Bowl in 2027, Super Bowl 61.
Okay, so they are going to be back.
Redemption.
Redemption, baby. I like it. That's good. I like that way too early prediction there. I like that. That's good. All right. Well, that will shift us on into some college basketball. All right, Casper. This is where we're going to figure it all out right here with you. Saturday, 6:30 ESPN was Duke at North Carolina. Guys, for that game, it was packed. It was a great atmosphere. That's what college basketball is all about, right there. I think. Um, Man, it was what a game, what an atmosphere. Um, 3.5 million views on that game, so I thought that was very, very good, very high.
Solid number.
I was
Solid
watching
number.
it as well, so I was one of the views there. But Duke, they had the lead. Guess they lead all night long. Maybe they just got the lead and they're out front. They're looking good, but got a good sized lead. At one point, it was a 13-point lead over Carolina, but here comes Tar Heels. They're going to kind of keep it somewhat close, and they're not going to get down too far where they can't come back. Halftime was 41-29 Duke. In the second half, I feel like they we're kind of starting to fall apart a little bit there towards the end of the second half. Duke was, but then Carolina's just playing steady, playing smart, keeping the crowd into it. And then I'll go ahead and get to the end here and we'll kind of bounce all around if we need to. But Duke has the lead a little bit, and here comes Tar Heels. So Tar Heels shoot the game-winning three with .5 as the ball comes through the net. Is that correct, Casper?
Yep, point four,
Okay.
but yeah.
So it comes through the
point
net,
four.
point .5.
Point four.
Okay.
Point four.
Point
Give
four.
us
Okay.
our 10th, baby. Listen,
Okay.
this is Daytona. 10th is the difference between pole and third, okay?
That's right. So .4, ball comes to the net, and the students rush the court thinking it's over. And then, well, it's not over, so they got to get this little mess cleaned up. You got popcorn and no telling what drinks all over the floor. So this is kind of like as a fan, it was such a good game. You don't want this to kind of put a damper on it, but I get it's a very big game. So then they get the students back off the court, and Duke gets the ball. You just don't got time. You just don't have the time to really get a halfway okay shot off. So they get the ball in, throws it up way off. Here comes the students and or the fans. So Casper, why are the students rushing the court in this game?
You know, I had a big discussion with my dad about that. You know, he went to school there, and I I don't think we rush the floor if we don't win in the fashion that we went in there. I mean, I think it was because of the comeback is why they rushed the floor. I still didn't love it, but you know, you've been waiting to take that lead for the whole game, and you know, I mean, like you probably watched enough Carolina Duke games. Like, there's just such a history, man, and like you know, I don't know if you remember it. I definitely remember it. I have nightmares about it to this day. I remember Austin Rivers hitting the step back, drill the three, and like as a Carolina fan, when I saw Seth Trimble put that baby in the air, I was like, oh, that's their Austin Rivers moment. They're gonna have to live with now, and brings a little tear, you know, just to think about they're now gonna have to live with that. So, I don't know. I mean, I really didn't love rushing the floor. Like I said, we were supposed to do this. I think I even said it on the show last week. Like, Carolina can just do what they're supposed to do. They'll beat Duke. And they did, and it wasn't pretty, but they got it done, which I thought they showed a lot of grit and determination and team basketball play, which is something that you don't always see and that we haven't seen out of the Tar Heels for a while. Um, I'm really a big fan of Hubert Davis at this point. I was kind of losing faith in him last couple years, but we put the suit back on and we coach like we're supposed to coach at Carolina, right? And I don't know. I thought they played a really good game. Glad to see them get the win. Didn't love the court storming. They got fined. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, how do you feel about putting .4 seconds on the clock? I mean, like that's enough for a tip in. So pretty much you got to throw it from the baseline, and then like you can't. That's not even a catch and shoot in .4 seconds. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't actually know that the rule was when it hit the net, like the bottom of the net. I guess it doesn't matter if they change the rule because you could still have it happen. But I was thinking, like, how about when somebody catches it out of the net or when it hits the ground? Like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just when it comes out of the bottom of the net seems like kind of a weird time. But then again, it's a defined space it has to fall through. So like it kind of makes sense. But you know, definitely on the clock operator to let the buzzer go off. They didn't get on the floor till the buzzer went off, right? So if the clock guy knows the
Yeah.
rules and stops the clock like he's supposed to, you don't have that problem. And
Yeah.
clock operators matter, football and basketball. And basketball, they kind of matter a lot. They can save you a lot of time, or they can run a lot off, really, because of how the clock works. So I don't know, but I'm glad they won.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Tuesday. Well, we are going to talk about Tuesday. We're going to be a little quiet about it, but you know, I was glad. I had that text teed up. I was waiting for it. So
Oh man. So Casper, should the students wait until all the players are off the court
no,
and then rush it?
if you're going to rush it, you can't be. It can't be an organized rush. So if you're going to storm the court, storm the court. I just go back to like, why are we storming the court? Because we beat
Yeah.
Duke. Like we're supposed to beat Duke sometimes, and I'm giving them a pass because of the last second buzzer beater shot. That's your kid, man. Growing up in North Carolina, dude, that's your dream. Like as a Carolina fan or a Duke fan or whatever, like hit the game-winning shot against Duke. Not a national championship, not a ACC championship, just to beat Duke, you know? So Big time moment. So, I'm giving them a pass, but yeah, I mean, no, you can't clear the players off the court. Come on. Also, I'm gonna call John Shire out here while we're at it. If since you're gonna drag me into this whole thing about the coach getting punched.
Okay.
It's 2026. Have you seen a video of a coach getting punched? I haven't.
No, I
Have
haven't.
you seen a coach with a bruise on his face?
No.
I hadn't seen a coach with a bruise
No.
on his face. So if he wants to run that mouth, I'd suggest he put some proof out. That's my comment towards John Shire there on that one. So if you want to talk and whine and moan and all this stuff, like that's what I want to see. We've had issues in football. Saban did the same thing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember. Saban kind of was complaining about guys being out there on the court and I'm in the field, and I don't I don't love the rushing stuff, and I really don't like it when the fans get mixed in with the players. But dude, it's just part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, you talked about it that this is what college basketball is. Like that game, that environment, and like that's just how it is. So like let's embrace it and quit crying about it. Because what you think if we go to Duke and they beat us like that, they're not coming on the floor?
Oh yeah. They're gonna do the same thing.
So my dad, a Carolina alum, said they probably need to have a little better security around the teams on the floor. They can afford it. So no excuses as far as that goes if people are getting punched. But like I said, I want to see a video or a picture of it happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it happened, and I am definitely all for player safety. But someone maybe want some kind of delay, but I think it's all part of the atmosphere. And I don't think it was really planned by the fans for the Tar Heels. I feel like it was just that game-winning shot, like you said,
Yeah,
and it was just
reaction.
it was just
Yeah,
spur of the moment reaction,
yeah,
and they took off. So,
yeah.
so then they go to play in a couple of days later,
Miami.
and Miami, and then they lose to Miami. Caleb Wilson out with a fractured hand. So what's all that about, Casper?
So I watched, unfortunately, most of that Miami game, and they just. Here's the thing about Carolina, and I saw a meme about this the other day, and I don't know if you've seen the picture of the dude shaking his head on the bench, losing to Miami, but it's like this is the Carolina team that in one year beat Kentucky, Kansas, and Duke, and has lost to Stanford, Cal, and Miami. Like, oh, just I want to shake them. It makes me so mad. Like Miami's an okay team, but they're not that good, dude. Like they're not that good, and we should have beat them. And they just couldn't put a game together. And I think you're coming off that high from beating Duke on Saturday, and like just can't buckle down. And but if they can buckle down, they can beat any team out there. I don't care what number is next to their name. So. But it's pretty frustrating to watch, and definitely typical Carolina to beat Duke and then come out and do this. So yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to see your team have a big win and then come out there and lay the egg and lose the next game.
yeah.
All right, let's move into some Tennessee basketball. Tennessee at Kentucky. That was at 8:30 on ESPN. Oh, Casper. Tennessee, they lead this game. Halftime's 47-33. Tennessee, they have this lead. We saw this just like the same deal just a few weeks back at Tennessee. And then they play at Kentucky, and I don't know what to say, Casper. They had the lead, they blew it, and they lost 74-71. What happened in that game, Casper?
They just got too much stuck in them, man. I think I've said that on here before. They got too much stuck in them. They can't ever do it. Um, I think it's a Rick. It's a Rick Barnes thing. Sorry,
Mhm.
I hate to be that guy. I don't. I hate beating up on coaches. I hate it more than anything. But he's just never really had the teams that can close it. And like this is a lot of games now that we've lost at the end. And it's awful, and I'm tired of it. And I don't know. Kentucky's a good team and all that, I guess, but losing's never fun. And I don't know, man. I'm telling you, they don't quite got it. I don't know. Did you watch
Yeah,
it?
I watched it. It's just like a hit and miss type team, it seems like. They play really good and they are able to have a strong first halves, and then you got to be able to finish these games. And as a fan, it
Yeah.
gets to be very important come March. You know, March, April, you got to be able to find it and you got to be able to finish it. And if you want to go to the Final Four, you got to be able to win. At the end of the day, you got to be able to get these wins. And these games are going to get tougher as we get more into March. These games are going to get harder to win. And you don't want to see your team out there struggling there, as it gets to be important. So I just want to see I guess my message to Tennessee basketball is you got to be able to finish what you start, and we did not see that Saturday night.
I agree. I agree. I think that's exactly it. You got to be able to finish. If you don't finish, nothing matters, right? Duke learned that lesson, and unfortunately, Tennessee did too.
Well, the good news is Tennessee plays at um, Mississippi State. That was last night at 9 o'clock on ESPN2. Halftime was 39-28 Tennessee, and then Tennessee got the win 73-64 over Mississippi State Bulldogs. I That game was good to see them kind of just bounce back, show what they're made of, show what they can do. Maybe that's you know they it all happened the way it did at Kentucky, and to see my team come back, get that win is exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, they have a tough little deal coming up here too. The whole Volunteers here. I'm not feeling great about them in the whole conference standings either. North Carolina. But Tennessee's gonna have to win here, or they're kind of done, really. There is a bunch of teams right there, and that they're gonna be flirting with the bubble. I mean, we just talked about Alabama. Alabama's 7-4 in conference. Tennessee's also 7-4 in conference now. So, um, you got LSU, Oklahoma, and then you go to Vanderbilt next weekend, and I Vanderbilt's a decent basketball team, and they're trying to run the state, and I would expect that to be a very tough game to win, honestly. So, and then you got Vanderbilt twice out of your last 5 games. So, they're trying to run the state. So don't let them do it.
All right, so we got LSU coming to town Valentine's night, 6 o'clock tip, sold out arena, dark mode. Casper, do you like the dark mode in basketball?
I think I told you I'm not really a fan of all this stuff in basketball.
Yeah.
One a year, Valentine's Day ain't the one to do it. Uh, no, not blackout. Honestly, I'd rather see the gray probably in basketball. But I, by the way, we didn't talk about this. I forgot about this Kentucky game. What was Kentucky wearing in
Oh,
that
they're
game,
wearing their
bro?
um
It's like white and gray.
denim. Yeah, it's like a denim special, like a denim
Like,
throwback.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, listen, there's some places that shouldn't mess with their stuff, and my Tar Heels are guilty of doing it too. But like, dude, if you're Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, don't mess with your uniforms, bro. Like, what are you doing? God, were they not the ugliest thing
Yeah,
you've
they're
ever
bad.
seen?
I just
Between
they
that and the floor. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. God.
Yeah, they got a good looking blue, which I'm not a fan of that color blue really, but I'm sure that fan base likes their
Yeah.
bright blue, and they kind of have the knockoff checker. I don't really care for their football. They got
Yeah.
this checkers on their side, like and
They're
whatnot.
just
So
wannabes. It's okay. That's little brothers are always jealous, Just ask JP.
just that little brother syndrome there. All
Yeah.
right, Oklahoma at Tennessee. That's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, ESPN2. That's gonna be coming up here shortly. So that'd be a game. It's gonna be one of those. You just got to take care of Oklahoma, take care of them, and move on to the next one. Georgia Tech, we'll do a little tech talk here.
Yeah.
Don't got much good to say about this team, but I'm gonna try to get on here, Dad, and all my Tech fans out there. We got to beat Notre Dame. It's gonna be a team that will be equal to them. Both teams are down. Um, just got to get through the season, and I've been hearing some talk about this coaching situation. Are we going to move on from our head coach? He came from the NBA, as like a coordinator from the Celtics. I just don't think he fits the vibe for Georgia Tech or college basketball. I try to be a fan of these coaches that we have. I try to support them the best I can and try to lean on. Well, maybe it's not all their fault, but they're the ones getting players. They're the ones making some decisions, and I feel like when he is coaching, he is into it and he's trying his best. But we're just we're just not known for basketball, and it's tough. It's just tough on us to buy in, which I still try to watch these games and support them best I can. But we'll see. We got if we can win that one, just try to win a couple more to end the year and shift on to some baseball, which we're ranked up there top two. So and that starts this weekend. So anything else you got on basketball, Casper?
Just trying to touch on the Georgia Tech thing. I do think that maybe y'all are going in the right direction. It seems like just from listening to you and your dad, the AD and everything, spending money on football, making the decision to make stuff count. And at the end of the day, I think the key in today's college athletics is to be an everything school, quote unquote. And hey, listen, the teams that maybe have struggled in their conference for a while, like Vanderbilt and potentially sometimes like Georgia Tech, like, hey, you don't have to do that anymore. You just got to find the money and buy the players and get the right coaches. And I think the right coaches is the key. And I think right coaches might be different than it was 10 years ago just because of the NIL situation. And, I think, it's in Atlanta. Like, if y'all can get good, that's all it'll take is a couple good seasons and y'all will be right up there hot. Just like I warned, during football seasons with Vanderbilt, like, man, you let Vandy get good, people go to Nashville to party to go to some football games. Same thing, in Atlanta, right? For Georgia Tech. So hopefully basketball can get better too. But y'all got brighter days ahead in basketball. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. I wanted to point this out. So I was again talking to my dad about basketball. We were getting caught up on everything, and I think it's funny that y'all and Pitt are kind of tied again in basketball, but this time it's for the bottom, not like top in football. But I think it just kind of shows where you put your effort a little bit. So that's what I was saying. Just got to figure out how to round it off and be good at every sport. So just
Yeah.
keep hammering on it.
Yeah, I think big picture wise, I'm feeling pretty good about it, and just gotta get those players in and the coaches in, and
Yeah.
everything else, will take care of itself.
Yep.
So that will be that, and we will move into some college baseball, Casper. 13th Tennessee will host a Nicholas this weekend for the opening weekend. I'm pretty pumped for the season, Casper. New coach, new team, new players. It's going. They got all kind of new upgrades, coming to that stadium, and they're kind of getting the feel back. We won it all a couple years back. Last year was an okay year. The goal was to go to Omaha and ultimately win it all. But I'm pretty excited about this new coach. I feel like they were able to control players not leaving too much after the changeover as we lost our coach to the Giants. He took over that position out west in California. So I'm looking forward to it. You got any thoughts or previews for Tennessee baseball?
I don't have a whole lot on Tennessee baseball. I do know that starting this weekend, they're giving away stadiums, the stadium replicas,
I
I
saw that.
think,
I like
first
that.
game. So if you want to get up here and get you one, is it Friday? Tomorrow's probably the first game.
Yeah.
So if you
Yep.
want to come on up here, you can spend the night at my house if you need to come on up here and get you one. If not, I can go down there and try to buy one off somebody for $50 or something. I'm like at the door, but no, the stadium looks cool. I hope they do good. The whole Elander situation, man, I hope it works out. We'll see. I saw Vitello yesterday in a Giants hoodie in the dugout, and I was just like, ugh, I don't, I don't know about all that. But I'm also ready for baseball a little bit to get fired up. Not like I'm not ready like full on to go to baseball mode yet, but I'm, I'm also, I'm ready.
Georgia Tech is going to host Bowling Green. We got our new coach, which he was already there. The other coach retired. They moved up this guy to the new position. So man, we're hopefully think it's gonna be a good year. And from what I heard from Dad and from what I've seen online and whatnot, this is gonna be the year. New fresh life is brought back to the baseball program. The other coach was getting pretty old in age, and glad to see him retire. And he had a great many years at Georgia Tech, but it was just time for a fresh start. So last year we went 46-19 at Georgia Tech. Could be the year we could see get 50 wins. That'd be kind of a cool goal to see this team get. And that's what I want to. I'll just go ahead and say it now. I guess give me 50 wins and give me Omaha. That is my goal for Tech baseball.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I again, I'd like to see that for y'all too. We're not getting to Omaha, so hopefully y'all do.
I hope so. That's
Uh,
that'll be kind of starting here this weekend and be kind of something to keep up with and keep up with some of the weekend series and whatnot. So that's something I'll be looking forward to for sure.
oh
All
yeah.
right, Casper, here we go. Braves baseball. Last year, 76-86. A lot of injuries. A lot seemed to take place. We changed the manager position. Spring training started Tuesday. The full team starts this weekend. I've been seeing some clips and whatnot of some of the coaches and players down there. You getting kind of fired up for the season?
I'm trying to, Schwellenbach, I don't know if you saw, he's going to be on the 60 days, so that kind of sucks right off the bat. He had some moments of life last year. Um, I don't know. I'm really curious to see what they end up putting on the field. I don't know that I've seen the changes I wanted to see to really make us strong enough here. So, I hope they do good. I still want to know what we're doing for TV because, it's it's really a struggle for me to keep up with the Braves if I can't watch them. Like it's something I actually like to watch during the weeknights. Even I just put it on like going to bed, but if I can't see it, it makes it very hard to
Yeah.
keep up with. But I don't know. Maybe you have to get Pops on here for a little Braves update. Maybe the end of spring training. We can get him set up in here. He'll give you all the news you need to know.
Oh, that's what I need to. That's what I need right there to get somebody on here that can really give it to us and tell us what he thinks about it.
Oh yeah,
But Walt Weiss is the new manager for the Braves. You got all that came out months back. I'm going to support it the best I can. I don't know a lot about them, and I was thinking they'd maybe get somebody else from outside the program, but hey, it didn't happen. So I'm going to support it. We'll try to get to a game or two this year and check that out. 2026 then team thoughts real quick, Casper. I just want to see this team better than last year, back in the playoffs. That's got to be a goal for fans of any kind of any sport. You want to see your team in the playoffs, and you just want to see them compete each night. You don't want to see them lose the first 3 or 4 or 5 in a row. You don't want to see you know, that that bad start happen that we've seen in the past some years with the Braves. So you want to get off hot and get to rolling, get these wins, and then you got to compete with the Phillies and the Mets, and you got to win the East. You got to win the NL East. You got to find a way. Last year they didn't make the playoffs. First time since what 2017, I believe. So it's been a minute,
yeah.
and so I want to give last year in the past. Maybe we're on the rebuild, and I'll be curious what they do with some of these players. Can we get him to stick around? And then Acuna, he's been keeps having all these knee injuries. I hope to see him be the same. Are we going to see him kind of drop off? You think, Casper?
Man, I don't know, dude. Like I don't know. I don't think so. The dude's still gonna be able to throw the ball to the plate from the fence. That's never gonna change for his entire career. It's just honestly, they just have to hit the ball, man. Like that's what they have to do all the way through the lineup. That's kind of the thing that's got me. Still definitely have some injuries, out there. Got to mess with. I've got to catch up on all that. But like I said, Schwellenbach. I know, Murphy is out. I think Riley's back. I think his stuff was good. I think he's finally back. But just hopefully they can get everybody fixed up and get a good team out there. I'm excited to see maybe if we they sometimes do some stuff in spring training and get some guys and maybe make a couple adjustments because I'm curious to see some of the guys that I'm really curious about this year. I'll just go ahead and say it. I want to see what does Ozzy do. I'm at the point with him if he can't start hitting the ball, I'm ready to send him down the road. Sorry. Um, the shortstop thing, I guess we got Ha-Seong Kim, I think, but I feel like maybe I saw he was injured too, so maybe he had a surgery. So just kind of curious to see what we got going on with all that stuff, and um, they're also headed to a point with that team and the roster where it's like some of these guys' contracts are gonna be coming up, they're gonna have to get paid. I think Acuna's up here pretty soon, maybe this year even, and it's like we gonna pay him or we not? Riley, I think he's worth it. I think Acuna's probably worth it, but then like I'd like to see a little bit of maybe middle infield help, which Ozzy's really good in the field, obviously, but batting he's sometimes he can hit it and sometimes he can't. I wish he'd just pick a side. You ever thought that about him?
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. Just got to pick a side, and just got to see these guys hit well and
Yeah,
be able to hit get them on base, and then ultimately get the home runs. And
yeah,
you got to be able to have good pitching and good hitting, I think.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's it, and I feel like you're right. Like the pitching is becoming even more than it's ever been with how the balls aren't juiced and spider tacked and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I hope they have a good year. Looking forward to watching. Hopefully we can get down there for a game. And I'd also like try to get to a Tennessee baseball game if we could pull that off. Maybe somebody told me if you go midweek, it's not that bad. So I don't know. I know like I'm sure new Lindsey Nelson. They ain't going anytime soon, probably other than a loser team or something. But
Yeah.
we'll see. It holds 8 grand now. I think I saw
Oh,
eight
wow.
8,011 maybe is what I saw for capacity. So
That's pretty good. That's pretty good
yeah,
for College Park.
yeah.
Oh. All right, well, we will shift on to the Daytona 500, Casper. It is going to be this Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Hopefully, it'll be pretty good weather for a sold out crowd expected. So it's always a big race. Real quick, Casper, what you got on the race?
Right now, what I've got is that your boy Ryan Blaney's trying to win this daggum duel,
Oh
and
yeah.
Austin Dillon just turned Bubba Wallace. So,
Oh.
and then wrecked a bunch of good cars, including William Byron, who I believe is that who I picked to win. I think
Uh,
on our no, I picked Hocevar actually,
oh
so
boy.
we're good. But I don't know, man. I'm excited to watch it, dude. The crowd is packed for these dual races, and I saw an overhead shot. Looks like the camping was pretty well sold out. So. I really like NASCAR's promotions. We're back to points. We're back to old NASCAR. So all you old fogies that said, they changed it. It went too corporate. Get your ass back over here. Okay, it's time. It's
Uh,
time. We're back, baby. We got good commercials. We got good drivers. We got good point systems. We got paint jobs. We're ready to go. So come on back over here. Give us a shot. And that's all I'm saying.
oh yeah, I'm fired up. It's gonna be a good season, and got cars back on the track. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be tuned in. I'll probably be in a if anybody calls me or texts me, I might be in a bad mood Sunday as keep up with this race. I try not to let it get the best of me, but care a lot about the sport, and I watch each and every lap, and I just got passion for my sport. And when it doesn't go well, I try to not let it get to me too much, but I care a lot about it. So
Yeah, but
that's what I
both
got.
of us can't
Yeah.
breathe whenever we watch Daytona because we know that they're literally one twitch away from wrecking the whole field.
Yeah. Yeah, that sums it up right there. All right, guys. So we will move into picks of the week. I'll go over yours. Let's see. You had the Patriots plus 4.5. That did not work out. Super Bowl over was 45.5. That indeed was under. You had Carolina beating Duke, so that was a check mark for you. And then I had the Hawks beating the Heat. Heat got the win. I had Duke beating beating UNC, so that did not work out. I had the Blues at the Predators. I picked the Predators to beat the Blues, so that worked out good. But it all came down to the tiebreaker. I had 52. Casper had 48. Casper gets the win. He now leads 6-5. Casper. So that will move us into this week. I get to go first on that. So I will say, let's see, get to my picks here. So I got Saturday night, LSU at Tennessee. I've got Tennessee getting the win there in Knoxville. Saturday night, Predators at the Stars. Give me the Stars to get the win there. And then Clemson at Duke. Give me Duke to bounce back and get the win.
No, thank you. That's cute. All right, I'm gonna take Texas Tech over Arizona for the big upset Saturday. All right. Got a good team, but I just feel like Texas Tech is ready to do something. Maybe they'll throw some tortillas out there on the floor. Screw storming it. Give me Carolina over NC State on Tuesday, and then for my third pick, all college basketball this time. Give me Alabama over Arkansas
All right.
since
What?
Bedico's gone.
Okay. And what is the tiebreaker this weekend?
Okay. So I was just thinking about this because I
Yeah.
saw we didn't have one in here.
Mhm.
How about closest driver to the front, Daytona?
I
We can
like
just
it.
pick one. You pick one. I'll pick one closest to the front.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a win, just
Okay.
closest to the front.
Give me Ryan Blaney.
That was sorry, buddy. That's hilarious. Give me. You ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. I want the 42 JHN, highest average finish in the Daytona 500 out of active drivers.
Oh, I like that. That's good. I like that pick. I like that. I like that tiebreaker there.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully we'll remember it.
yeah, I might write it down. Oh man. All right, Casper. You got any one last thought for the show?
Yeah, y'all be sure to watch some of the Olympics this week. I've been watching curling, my favorite sport. Me and Dwat are still going to get signed up and go. We got a curling club in Knoxville. I want to go so bad. Every year the Olympics come up, I'm like, dude, I've got to go curling. Still hadn't done it. So I've been watching that. I always like supporting the US of A. And honestly, just Olympic sports are cool, man. Like I was thinking about this today. Like I'd hate them if they were all the time, but because they're every 4 years, like I kind of get locked in, honestly, when they're on TV.
Yeah, that's a good point that you made on all the Olympics there, Casper. I don't have a lot to say. Just looking forward to some baseball there with spring training and yeah, and then then we got cars back on the track. So I'm looking forward to the NASCAR season starting off and getting on your show there, Caution Flag Contemplation Podcast, and checking it out on your show on that. You got anything else, Casper?
Yeah, we're on the last lap. Your boy's pushing Joey right now. I think he's going to get it done. So I don't know if you want to end this and watch it, but I think he's going to put the move on him. We'll see. I'll give you a live call.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're going to shut it down. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can watch and listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So that's all set up there on Apple Podcast. You got any fan mail? You can put it in the comments of the video or the audio, if you would, there on Spotify or YouTube. And with that being said, I'm going to shut it down. Like, share, and subscribe. We will see you in the next one.